talking about idiosyncratic moments in big Hollywood, I guess.
Or idiosyncratic.
Idiosyncratic, yeah. But I guess those moments are the moments that make you. Really, and you know, none of those films would feel like Guillermo del Toro films, and you know, obviously films are not.
Or maybe so, but sometimes, for example, on Hellboy II, there's a very perverse joke that when we showed it to an audience, some people wrote it was very disturbing, and I managed to keep it in. And it's a tiny minimal joke, but it's about a baby and a tumor. And that disturbed some people, and I said it has to stay there. That I wanted there. I really, and I fought very hard for a sequence that was key to me for the movie. But the powers that be saw it as unnecessary, and that's more or less the juncture where I deferred my salary.
Right.
And makes a difference. It's hard, you know. There is the only moral crossroad, really, and that's. When we were talking about Bilbo or the girl in Pansav, whatever, is when it really happens. You cannot be an armchair moralist. You know, you can be a film purist only if you have gone through the grinder.
Right.
You cannot be a film purist from the comfort of your own home. Because it's the same thing as saying, I never sold out. How would you know if no one has ever tried to buy you? You know, you can only sell out or not when someone's trying to buy.
Yeah.
And in that sense, the degrees in which you reaffirm your personality and things is important. To me, an amazing level in which that has happened is when I see a movie like Children of Men by Alfonso Cuarón, and my mind kind of explodes. By the fact that this is a Hollywood movie made by a Mexican colleague, a friend, that is so idiosyncratic. It's not about a little detail, it's the whole movie.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insanely idiosyncratic in the way it's shot, in the way it's produced, and everything. And that I find an example to follow. But it, as I said, these things may seem like, oh, okay, yeah, they're doing their movies, but it's so hard to do.
But even Prisoner of Azkaban, which is you imagine after two very successful Christopher Columbus movies, Warner Brothers had an idea of what that franchise was. Warner Brothers knew that it was going to be safe, and they needed to.
I thought that was one of the reasons why I didn't do it, because I thought it's not visually a world I want to live in right now. Yeah. And because the books I loved, the two first movies didn't connect with me, but Alfonso went in and he did to what remains to me my favorite of the movies so far.
But he did set a standard for the ability for directors to take ownership of those movies, and that's something that you don't see in franchise Hollywood.
That's Alfonso. He's my hero.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I guess as well, it shows it shows there's actually an appetite from kind of, obviously Hollywood is constantly worrying about kind of what the mainstream market wants and whether they can accept these kind of like distinctive kind of aesthetic decisions. But it shows like the success of Children of Men and obviously your career as well. Do you think it shows that there is an appetite?
I think Hellboy II is going to be a very interesting thing, because it is infinitely more idiosyncratic than the first. Hellboy, why I love him is that he's a slob. He failed so many times in the first movie. He screwed up when they were killing his father. He is confused emotionally. Is kind of a klutz, and I love him for that. And I think those are aspects of the heroic. I love him having cookies with the kid in the rooftop. And that's not exactly a common superhero scene, you know.
The kittens do it for me.
Or the kittens, or the fact that he jumps between buildings and falls short of making it. Is really, and it's not a scene of him learning his abilities. So, no, it's like, this is a guy that's been doing it for a long time and still fails.
Yeah.
What is the everyday life of one of these super powerful guys?
Right.
Does he have to pick his socks? Who rinses the ball sweat from the Batsuit?
Yeah.
You know, who cleans those undies? I mean, that's mostly, and those are aspects that intrigue me to a point. The not the sort of everyday kind of comedy that can happen, or non-comedy, the melodrama.
I think you've just talked your way out of a Batman movie.
Oh no! Listen, I would have loved to do. I would have loved to done year one, blissfully for everyone. Chris Nolan is in charge.
Yeah.
And it's even better for everyone, including me, because I can see it done in a masterful way and not have to go through it.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
like you say, that like the world of kind of superheroes is inherently quite a funny world. Like when you think about it, like all those kind of like when you think about the everyday situations that they're kind of in.
Yeah, and you know, I don't mean to take the comedy to the extreme of something which I loved and admire, a brilliant TV series called The Tick, where they go and have a coffee in a superhero coffee shop, or Mystery Man, which I enjoyed also. I'm saying is just little touches.
Yeah.
Just little touches, like for example, you know, I wanted to know what does Hellboy cut his horns with in the first movie, and I asked Mike Mignola, and he said, I guess a file, and I put this in with the grinder, with the sand grinder. But little things, I mean, it's just the tonal stuff that I think may go against the grain, and it's subtle, but it's not. It's an intentional desire to explore that tone.